Hi, friends. All right, so in today's You Ask, I Answer, I'm going to answer the question, how do we start to understand what our emotions are actually trying to tell us? And the way that I started to actually be able to get the messages from my emotions that were actually trying to tell me, and was able to apply those messages. So, in the sense of like actually getting new information about what I needed, what I wanted, what wasn't working in my life, instead of always just doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. Instead of constantly thinking I already knew what my emotions were telling me and doing what I thought I was supposed to do about them, and having that never change my reality, never change the results that I was getting, never helping me actually feel better. The first step that I took in actually learning how to discern what my emotions were trying to tell me was that I stopped assuming I already knew what my emotions were trying to tell me. So I noticed in myself that when I would feel an emotion, the first thing I would do is label it. This is sadness, this is anxiety, this is depression, this is anger, this is. And then I would already have a story about why I was feeling that emotion. I'm angry because this person did this. I'm sad because this person did this. I'm anxious because of this. I'm depressed because of this. And then again, with that, I would also be creating meaning about what that emotion meant about me. I'm not good enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not successful enough. This relationship is wrong. This job is wrong. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. Da 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 da. And then already feeling like I knew what the answer was. I just need to quit. I just need to stop doing this. I need to stop hanging out with this person. I need to. And so what I was recognizing was, again, I was in a state of completely assuming I already knew everything my emotion was trying to tell me and what I was supposed to do about it. And I was reacting and responding to my emotions as though I already knew already. So it wasn't really even that I thought I didn't know what my emotions were telling me, and I thought I didn't actually know how to interpret my emotions or anything like this. It was that I really thought I already knew everything. I was operating under the assumption that I already had all the information, that I already fully understood it, I knew exactly what to do about it, and I would go about doing it, usually before I would even recognize that I was feeling an emotion at all. So my process began with letting myself actually feel my emotion and not telling myself a story about it. So, as in allowing my mind to tell me the story. You're feeling this, this is what it means about you, this is what you should do about it. And seeing that I had done that over and over and over and over again. I had already told myself this story and reacted as though that story was true so many times. And then I looked at the results I was getting. And I said, okay, well, this isn't actually moving me in the direction I want to go. This isn't actually changing my life. This isn't working. So therefore, I must be wrong about what I'm making my emotion mean and what I'm supposed to do about it. Because if I was right, it would be working. I would be getting the message. And I would be able to actually sustainably change my life. So that was the first kind of humbling experience of admitting to myself that I have already been reacting as though I know what this emotion is telling me. I've already been reacting as though I know what the answer is. And I've been doing what I think I should do about it. I've had this emotion many, 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 many times. I've told myself this story many, 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 many times. And I've reacted in a way as though my story is true many, 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 many times. And I keep ending up here. Life isn't getting better. Maybe it's actually getting worse. I'm not getting the results I want. I'm not feeling better. I'm not feeling stronger. I'm not overcoming challenges and understanding them completely and understanding why I was facing that challenge over and over again and what it was there to teach me and how to actually take that information and make myself more complex so that my life can get easier, better, more creative, more expansive. I'm just doing the same thing over and over and over again. So that was the first humbling experience of just admitting to myself that if I actually knew what my emotion was telling me and if my story was true, then the reaction that I've been having and the things that I've been doing about my emotions would have been making my life better. And not in like a crazy 8 way. That's what Tony Robbins called it, crazy 8s, where you do something extreme and you think, okay, this is changing my life, and then you give up on it and you feel like, okay, that's great, and then you do something extreme and then you feel like that's changing your life, and you feel that's great until you get too tired and then you quit, and then you feel like liberated because you quit over and over and over again. It's not that. That's not what change looks like. Real, true change means you start to actually understand the challenges you're facing, why you're facing them, where your psychology isn't matching real reality, where your actions and what you're trying to do aren't getting you the results that you want because you're out of alignment with truth, right? Admitting, I don't actually know. And then the second thing was learning to actually sit with the emotion. Just sit, let my mind tell me the story. Thank you, mind, for telling me the story. I know you're just trying to help me. You're trying to make this clear for me. I totally understand. Thank you. But we're wrong. We don't actually know. Because if we did, again, everything that we've been doing about this emotion and all the action we've been taking would have worked. We would be working in a direction. We would be getting clearer. We would know things better. We wouldn't just be trying the same thing over and over again. Same or different diets, but it's not actually helping you feel better in your body. A different, I'm going to stop spending money, a different relationship, a different job over and over and over again, and it never gets you anywhere. You always end up feeling the same feeling. It's because we're not getting it. So learning to actually admit that you don't actually know what you know. And then, like I say, sitting in the emotion and just letting myself feel it. What does this emotion actually feel like? What does it feel like in my body? Where do I feel it in my body? What is this sensation? Stop assuming that I know what it is and just feel it. Let it overtake me and watch as my mind panics that I'm always going to feel this way. If I let myself feel, the sadness is going to kill me, the anxiety is going to kill me, the depression is going to kill me. Okay, maybe it will. But let's see, right? Just really letting yourself sit in the unknown and sit in the emotion. And that was when I started to actually get some breakthroughs. When I allowed the emotion to actually process all the way through. By not labeling it and not assuming I already knew what to do about it and not running off and doing that thing I've always done. Just sitting and feeling. Just really letting myself feel. And being curious about it while I felt it. Being curious. What is the feeling? How does it feel to feel this? It's just an emotion. It's just moving through. And let yourself sit with it a couple of times and watch that you don't die. And I know that sounds dramatic, but when we really get onto this, it's going to feel like that. So that is my first tip. If you really want to start to understand your emotions, you have to start to admit to yourself that you think you already know. You've been doing the same thing over and over again, and it's not working. So you don't know, and what you're doing about it isn't right. And that's not something bad about you. That's not something wrong with you. We all do it. That's how we all live in this world where we think we know, and we all think we're doing the right thing. It's not your fault. It's totally not your fault. You're not doing anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. That's human nature at this point, as in human conditioning at this point. But your true nature is actually curious. Your true nature actually knows how to sit with an emotion, to get curious about it, and how to learn something new. And that's how we know we've actually listened to our emotion. When the revelation we get about what it means and what we're supposed to do about it is something we've never done before, something we've never seen before. It's not going to be a new version of what you've always done. It's going to be a holy shit, I've never even considered that before. So are you willing to admit you don't know? Are you willing to admit that what you're doing isn't working? And are you willing to sit with it long enough to feel it, to be curious about it? And this might take several different times. You might feel an emotion, sit with it, get nothing. Feel an emotion, sit with it, get nothing. Feel an emotion, sit with it, it just cycles through and you just feel it lift and then you just move on with your day. That might happen many, many, many times before you get the message. So are you willing to go through that? And if you are, I think you'll find it. All right, so that's that. I hope that answers your question. And yeah, you're good enough already. Everything's good with you. It's just learning. We're just here to learn. All right?